Good morning, 4:37. Topping our farm news this morning, for the second time in as many months, Switzerland's Syngenta has rejected a takeover proposal from Monsanto. Monday, Syngenta said its U.S. rival had made no attempt to seriously address regulatory concerns. Monsanto offered to pay a $2 billion reverse breakup fee, or in other words, $2 billion if it cannot obtain global regulatory approvals for an acquisition. Syngenta has rejected a $45 billion offer in what is known as a tax inversion deal. Monsanto says it would move the combined firms to the United Kingdom and change its name. USDA's weekly crop progress report shows corn planting wrapped up and winter wheat harvest got started this past week. Corn crop is 91% emerged compared to 84% last week and a 5-year average of 90%. Corn condition ratings the same as last week, 74% good to excellent. Condition ratings for corn in the northern Corn Belt, 78% for Minnesota, 69% South Dakota, and 75% good to excellent in North Dakota. Meanwhile, soybeans are 79% planted for the U.S. Emergence is at 64% compared to 71% and 49% last week. 81 and 63 is the average. Soybean condition ratings are 69% good to excellent. For the upper Midwest, Minnesota just 73% good to excellent. South Dakota only 69%, but North Dakota is 84% good to excellent. We've got good beans. Winter wheat is now 4% harvested compared to a 12% 5-year average, and winter wheat condition ratings decreased slightly to 43% good to excellent compared to 44% last week. Spring wheat is nearly all emerged at 97%. USDA says 69% of the spring wheat crop was rated good to excellent. With the good crop comes a good crop of bugs. NDSU Extension entomologists are expecting a large number of sugar beet root maggots this year. It's based on the building populations of the fly that lays those eggs that become maggots. Growers should be on the lookout for the fly. Peak numbers are expected this week.
What we're looking at for peak fly, most of the peaks should happen this week, and some of that may have already happened in the Southern Valley, and then we're looking at the latter part of the week for the Northern Valley.
And are we trying to control the fly or the maggot?
That's a great question. Actually, a little bit of both. If a grower or an applicator is fortunate enough to spray on a liquid material a few days ahead of peak fly, they'll get some fly control, actually quite a bit of fly control. And if they luck out, here's where the luck comes out, the fortune comes in, is if they happen to get that on a day or two before a nice gradual rain shower, some of that will get washed into the upper centimeter or so of soil, and you'll get larval control as well.
Botel expects the biggest problem this year to be in the Crookston, Minnesota area and the northern end of the valley on both sides of the river, where there's always a problem with the sugar beet root maggot fly. Sugar beet root maggot adult flies are similar in size and appearance to the housefly. Michigan now joins the club as the worst outbreak of the avian influenza in U.S. history continues. 3 young geese collected about 20 miles north of Detroit were found infected with the highly pathogenic H5N2 flu strain. That's according to Michigan's DNR. Nationwide, more than 46 million chickens and turkeys have been killed by the disease or culled to prevent its spread, most in Iowa, the top U.S. egg-producing state, and Minnesota, the nation's top turkey-producing state. Michigan is the 21st state to confirm a case of bird flu since late last year, the 6th to detect it only in wild or free-ranging birds. Time now for Technology Tuesday, the latest in precision ag. Last Thursday went to the launch of the Farmers Business Network here in the Valley. The Farmers Business Network is a membership-driven group that would share data to help farmers make better business or agronomic decisions. Any concerns about protecting your on-farm data disappeared recently when Google became involved with the company, providing software that keeps individual data anonymous while being able to use everyone's data to your advantage.
What's happened is that there's really been a change in mentality around data. I think people started with saying, well, I really don't know where this is going, and you know, I'm a little nervous about that, to suddenly people saying, well, I see how I can use data to get more power as a grower and to understand my farm better. because fundamentally now it's not about just the data staying on your farm and then going over to your input provider. It's now about saying I can look at my farm and I can look at the whole world around me. And so what FBN allows you to do is understand the world around you in a fundamentally new way. So if I'm testing a hybrid or 2 or 3 hybrids in a strip on my ground, I'm only doing 5 acres or 10 acres. With FBN, you can look at 10,000 acres. You can look at the nutrient response of that seed. So you can access fundamentally more information than you ever could access before. It's completely objective. It's all from growers. It's completely independent. And what that means is we can look at any brand of seed, any product. We're going to show you exactly what's happening in the real world. And we're going to do that in a completely transparent way.
And what intrigues me about these guys is they have the Google philosophy. Google's an investor, so they're bringing it. They want to democratize data, make the decision-making tools available to a wide range of people at a low cost, make it very user-friendly like Google does, and make it practical to make decisions. And I think that's going to be really good for farmers. I think we're in a revolution or an evolution with this anyway, and so I'm really excited about this company because they've got a strong technology partner with deep pockets, and I think they're really serious about doing the right things for farmers.
And you can get more information at their website, farmersbusinessnetwork.com. Time is 4:44. Right after the break, we're coming back, checking on that rain moving into the northern end of the valley. Is it really going to take a little right turn or left turn and head across northern Minnesota? We'll check it out next.